Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching our Save to Give Challenge overview presentation. My name is Brady Steigoff, and I'm the Community Energy Specialist at Focus on Energy. So whether a community is interested in the Save to Give Challenge and are working on their applications, or they're participating in the challenge, I'm their go-to resource, as well as while we're implementing the Save to Give Challenge, I'm also a resource for residents and businesses generally on the programs and offerings that Focus on Energy provides to Wisconsin residents. We're hosting and recording this presentation today because we have our application period open right now for phase 2 communities to apply to participate in the Save to Give Challenge. In phase 1, we had the city of Lodi and the county of Bayfield participate in the Save to Give Challenge. So we've already got some successes under our belt. And we're interested in piloting this in 2 other rural communities in Wisconsin. So if you're tuning in, you can learn a little bit more about the challenge and what's involved. And it's a good resource for you if you're interested in applying and want to learn more about how to do that. So for this presentation, we'll cover a little bit of a background on Focus on Energy, as well as why Focus on Energy was interested in a pilot for rural communities and how they came to the Save to Give Challenge. And then we'll focus on why we choose energy actions as opposed to traditional sort of equipment-based programs for the Save to Give Challenge. And then we'll go into some details on how the pilot works and how and when communities can apply. So Focus on Energy is Wisconsin's energy efficiency and renewable resource for the state and have been so since 2001. Our goal is to empower the people and businesses of Wisconsin to make smart energy decisions with enduring economic benefits. So our information, our resources, and financial incentives benefit all Wisconsinites by implementing energy efficiency and renewable projects that otherwise wouldn't happen without our information and incentives, or in some cases happen sooner than they would have due to that lowered upfront cost. So to do that, we partner with 107 Wisconsin electric and natural gas utilities. And that's how we serve the majority of the state. So why did we come to the Save to Give Challenge as an idea for a pilot? Well, we wanted to design something specifically for rural communities, recognizing that our mission is to serve all Wisconsinites, and that energy efficiency can sometimes be easier to market in urban, suburban areas where there's more contractors, there's higher density for word of mouth, and a little bit more communication channels. We recognize that that's not good enough. There's a huge opportunity for rural residents to save energy and use their energy more wisely using our resources. So this pilot is designed to overcome those geographic barriers, better serve rural communities, and empower rural residents to take their energy use in their own hands and use energy more wisely. So along those lines, a lot of our Focus on Energy incentives are designed for equipment. So you probably have heard of our LED light incentives to buy down those costs, or maybe a furnace rebate or insulation rebate. And while it's really important, and those programs and offerings that we have help us, have good hardware on our homes or our businesses, so that our buildings use energy efficiently. A lot of our energy use is also influenced by the way that we interact with our buildings, so our behavior. And that's why we focus on energy actions. So sometimes energy efficiency can be temporary. It's adjusting a thermostat once or turning off a lamp when you remember. We focus on energy actions because we view them as a more holistic and enduring approach to energy. Think of it more as a way of thinking. So we want people to get comfortable at new temperatures, whether that's putting on a sweater or using a fan before you just default to changing your thermostat. And then thinking about replacing inefficient equipment well in advance and doing so intentionally. So it's not just when a light bulb goes out or a furnace goes kaput and you need just anything to replace that equipment. We want you to think well in advance to know what resources are available for you to save energy and do so without spending too much money. So that you get that quick payback and return on investment, as well as just teaching you different ways to think about energy in your home and how you could use less of it, why your energy bills are what they are at the end of the month, And so that you're thinking well in advance before you get stuck with a high bill on what you can do to save energy and how you are using energy that month. So Save to Give Challenge also includes a charitable component, which I'll get to. So what is the Save to Give Challenge? It's a community-wide energy conservation challenge at its heart, but it aims to do three things. It aims to motivate residents to analyze their energy use more and log on to their utility website to view how much they're using throughout a month or throughout the year and learn tips to save. That's where our resources, information, and incentives come into play. We want to teach residents how they can save money by saving energy. And when they do that and record what they're doing, we want to reward those residents in the Save to Give Challenge by making a donation to their favorite nonprofit on their behalf. So residents save and focus on energy gives, hence the Save to Give Challenge. The Save to Give Challenge lasts 1 full year. It consists of 2 8-week-long donation campaigns. So they're time limited, where we throw people 1 energy action a week and we build upon the skills and behaviors that they're learning. Much like a language, you start with the fundamentals. And throughout those 2 8-week campaigns, we can raise up to $25,000 for local nonprofits. So it's an impactful amount of money for the nonprofits participating. And hopefully, even though each energy action might save you only a little bit of energy, combined, they can really make a difference in your energy bill. And hopefully customers can start learning ways to save money and see those savings impact them. So how does the Save to Give Challenge work from a community's perspective? Right now, if you're interested in applying, you do so, and then we review those and select 2 for the pilot. For our phase 2, as again, I mentioned that Bayfield County and City of Lodi participated in round 1. Once communities are selected, whoever is the community point person on the application will reach out to you to put together a little community stakeholder group of businesses, residents, nonprofits, places of worship, maybe the Chamber of Commerce, things like that. And that's where we'll facilitate 2 meetings to marry our energy expertise with local community members' expertise of their community. So this is where we help identify which nonprofits should be selected to be supported in the Save to Give Challenge to get high participation. And then, we've got the energy expertise, but we don't know necessarily how Save to Give Challenge will work in your community. So that's where we lean on your local expertise to design a challenge that's customized for your community. Then our campaigns begin once we have that information. We launch them in the winter and summer. And during those time-limited 8-week donation campaigns, residents report once a week what they're doing to save energy, and that will earn them donation points for their chosen nonprofit. And they can see live donation progress towards their nonprofit. So as soon as they say, yep, I'm turning off lights, rooms I'm not using, they'll see exactly how many dollars that equates to their nonprofit. And hopefully they also see their energy use as well start to trend downward. At the end of each campaign, we award the donation prizes to those nonprofits, recognizing that they can't often wait a whole year. And we know that these dollars expand their scope of work in Bayfield and Lodi. I've heard from nonprofits that this paid for 2 months rent, or this expanded the work that they already do that benefits the community. So this expands that scope of work that they're able to do. And it's really just a feel good. Everybody wins when the nonprofits are feeling good and people are saving energy. So this is a really fun activity. And then as a pilot, this is all about research and finding out what works. So we're going to measure, do behavior changes stick? We hope when Save to Give Challenge comes into a community that the overall community energy usage will trend downward. And we hope that just because Save to Give Challenge is over, the energy use doesn't go back to what it was before we were in a community. So some criteria for communities interested in applying. We do prefer communities be in about the 7,000, 30,000 population size. I don't want you to think that that's a barrier to applying or participating. Again, City of Lodi participated in round 1 and they were just above 3,000. So if you're worried that your community might be excluded, I want to encourage you not to be be worried about that. And if you are, feel free to reach out to me with my contact information included in these slides. It shouldn't be a barrier, and especially not to apply. We do require that a majority of zip codes included be classified as rural, as this is a rural pilot. We want to see a strong definition of a community hub, whether that be city, school district, tribal nation, a strong nucleus and community identifier. Since this is offered by Focus on Energy, we require your electric or natural gas utility to participate in Focus on Energy so that we can offer you this program. And then finally, we request that the community's electric utility agrees to incorporate our Save to Give module to whatever My Account customer billing information system they have. It's an easy way for residents to go to the same spot that they pay their bill. They'll see a little Save to Give icon where they can choose their nonprofit, see their energy use, and then also visit and learn our tips to save energy all in one spot. So for the sake of demonstrating this, a community could be a town, school district, tribal nation, fire protection district, anything, as long as they have a legally established geographic boundary and a place that defines it, a clear nucleus. So members of Brady Fishing Club, while fun and might be a very strong community, not eligible for this pilot, but XYZ school district, especially if people really, support the schools and feel that that's a rallying community identifier, they'd be a great fit. The sand colored areas on this map are what's eligible for the pilot. So while we exclude non-rural zip codes, I want you to know that that still includes most of Wisconsin. So again, the sand colored is eligible. It really just excludes some of the biggest cities that you've heard about, as well as some of the suburbs. So what criteria do we select communities on? And this is all out of a 100-point scale. So you can sort of see that about a quarter of what we evaluate communities on is the people and places. So our contacts filled out, and is the community boundary and nucleus easy to understand. Worth slightly less points than that is the applicability and scalability statewide. So do the community characteristics lend themselves to a rural community and one that's good for the pilot? Do the demographics sort of match the average of Wisconsin? So that if we roll this out statewide, what we're learning in your community is eligible statewide. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Again, you can see that it's the point weighting that we have for this category is the smallest. Then we do want to see that you have a strong understanding of the project, as well as what's involved in commitment. Again, we want to see that you are able to connect us with some community leaders and some nonprofits. The lift on your end as a community is pretty small. It's mostly providing approvals and then being that community connector for us. So if you can prove that, and then the biggest thing that we'll look at is if your community has some rallying characteristics. So how robust is that leader or that network of community leaders, and how active are some communication channels? So we want to, put ads in the newspaper, put mailers to everyone's home, but also if you know of a place and can connect us with this, maybe there's a place that everybody gets ice cream in the summer, or the fish fries on Fridays, or a cafe in the winter where people do their business deals, and it'd be important for us at Focus on Energy to table at that event, maybe with either a city rep or with one of the nonprofits, where we could get some people signed up in those time-limited campaigns. If you can identify those for us, that's going to make your application really, really strong for us. Lastly, I just want to give some things that you should expect if you are chosen. So we'll work with you to identify community leads for those stakeholder meetings, again, to incorporate the community expertise in our pilot. So how can we encourage neighbors to participate? We'll choose which nonprofits should get the money if we get enough people to participate and apply. We have some examples there. I do just want to mention again that Focus on Energy is the one that helps facilitate those meetings in your community to iron out those details and help make sure Save to Give works in your community, and we have a unique campaign that'll work the best in your community. So if you're interested in applying, you can do so at focusonenergy.com/save to give-application. Our applications are due August 11th. If you do need just a few more days to submit your application, you can contact me. But this is expected to only be about a 30 to 45-minute application. It's online. It's meant to be convenient for you. So if you're finding that that's not the case or you've got questions, please reach out to me at brady.steigoff@focusonenergy.com or give me a call at 608-284-1756. I'm happy to talk to you. Then our timeline is you'd be selected around the end of August, early September. Late September, we'd start to put together a list of those stakeholders for a meeting and invite them for an October and a November meeting before the holidays. Then in January 2022, our campaigns can begin and we can have fun saving energy. So again, here's my contact information if you've got questions. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you found this presentation interesting. You learned something, and hopefully you're interested in applying to the Save to Give Challenge.